Oh, how do I start this video? So, hello, my beautiful boring people. Welcome back. My name is Victoria, and I done goofed on my last video. Literally, maybe 30 minutes after I uploaded it, I realized, oh wait, there's new stuff posted about this for 2019. And this challenge is way more in-depth than I thought it was, and it sounded like a lot more fun. So I'm coming back to you this time with a revised version of my N.E.W.T.s / magical readathon for 2019, okay? I'm gonna link all of the new info down in the description box below, and you should definitely check it out. So with this challenge, earlier this year, I think back in April, there was an N.E.W.T.s challenge to go ahead and read those so that you could do your career path for your N.E.W.T.s. It's not necessary to do your L's before your N.E.W.T.s, but I don't have my L's done, so I just went into the magical future files and I was like, what sounds like me? What sounds like something I would enjoy? So I went through and I looked and I found Metal Charmer, whose key traits are logic, precision, vigilance, and originality. Which, I mean, I don't know, it sounded cool to me. Especially like with the actual description, where metal charming is an ancient art in enchanting metalwork. With certain magical properties, it requires a great deal of attention to detail, dedication, precision, and patience. It is not a career for those who like to see results quickly. Metal charming is a very exclusive and elite profession, not only due to the limited number of specialists, but also the challenge an ordinary wizard would have to go through to get their hands on a metal charmer's contact. There is an extensive history of competitors going through great lengths to acquire another metal charmer's research. Throughout the history, there has been quite a few mysterious disappearances, unexplained amnesias, identity thefts, and more. Because of this, most wizards and witches decide to work on their craft in secret, remaining anonymous. A lot of metal charmers' work is used in secret places, such as Gringotts Bank, the Ministry of Magic, and Azkaban, where the properties of their artifacts are not revealed to the public for security reasons. However, a few famous known examples of metal charmers' inventions are golden snitches, sneakoscopes, and time turners. This is a profession that will provide a good metal charmer with rare but giant spurs of income. As far as it's known, metal charmers never have complained of lack of galleons in their vaults. In addition to passing with the grades listed below, you will also be required to present 3 idea pitches with detailed blueprints and calculations at the time of your registration exam at the Ministry of Magic. A master metal charmer will be present. However, your memory of their identity will be altered after your performance is completed. Please note that working as a metal charmer without the Ministry of Magic's permit is considered illegal. So if you were to do this challenge and complete your N.E.W.T.s, you would need one in Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, Charms, Defense Against the Dark Arts, Transfiguration, and 2 more subjects of your choice. For the N.E.W.T.s, it requires an O in Arithmancy, O in Charms, O in Transfiguration, E in Ancient Runes, and A in Defense Against the Dark Arts. So, with that information, you then go to the PDF with all of the different book themes for each of the categories. And it goes in order of A, E, and O. In order to get an E, you must first read A, and so forth and so on. And you cannot overlap books if you want to follow the rules, which this video is the Follow the Rules edition. To get an A in Arithmancy, I must read a book that ends on an even page number. For this, I've chosen The Sea of Monsters, which is the 2nd book in the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. The opening blurb for it says, "When Thalia's tree is mysteriously poisoned, the magical borders of Camp Half-Blood begin to fail. Now Percy and his friends have just days to find the only magic item powerful to save the camp before it is overrun by monsters. The catch: they must sail into the Sea of Monsters to find it. Along the way, Percy must stage a daring rescue operation to save his old friend Grover, and he learns a terrible secret about his own family, which makes him question whether being the son of Poseidon is an honor or a curse." Sounds kind of fun. For my E in arithmancy, I will be reading a standalone, for which I have chosen Wilder Girls, which I just received in the mail the other day because I bought it when it was on sale from Amazon. The blurb about this book is, it's been 18 months since the Raxter School for Girls was put under quarantine, since the talks hit and pulled Hetty's life out from under her. It started slow. First the teachers died one by one, then it began to infect the students, turning their bodies strange and foreign. Now cut off from the rest of the world and left to fend for themselves on their island home, the girls don't dare wander outside the school's fence, where the tox has made the woods wild and dangerous. They wait for the cure they were promised as the tox seeps into everything. But when Wyatt goes missing, Hetty will do anything to find her, even if it means breaking quarantine and braving the horrors that lie beyond the fence. And when she does, Hetty learns that there's more to their story, to their life at Raxter, than she could have ever thought true. Very intriguing. I've also heard that this book is referred to as, what's the high school read that everybody has to do when it's like sucks to your asthma? Whatever that book is, I'll put it here. I did not care for that book, and then I saw Lala review this book, and I was like, oh my god, this doesn't sound anything like that book anymore, other than the premise is it's people stuck on an island. That's the only thing really tying them together in my mind. So I'm really excited to read this now, actually. My O in arithmancy requires a book that is over 350 pages long, for which I've chosen Six of Crows. It's actually 465 pages long, so more than good enough. The blurb for this book is Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price, and no one knows better than criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he can't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heart-trender using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kaz's crew are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction, if they don't kill each other first. I've heard many good things about this duology, and I'm excited to try it. I'm also a little nervous because another video I just watched said that in order to understand the magic system that's going on in this book, you have to read the previous books by Leigh Bardugo, and most of the videos that I saw promoting this duology didn't tell me that, so now I'm kind of scared that I won't like it because I haven't read the previous books. I don't know. I'll let you know whether you need the previous ones or not. If not, I may be replacing these with the previous books and then get caught up with this one. I don't know. Why call it a duology if it can't stand on its own? Does it stand on its own? We'll find out! For an A in Charms, I am to read a book that I think has a gorgeous cover. I've already talked about this. Ooh, shiny. I love it. I've picked Aurora Rising for this challenge. For an E, I am to read a comic, graphic novel, or manga, or a book under 150 pages. For this, I've chosen Tokyo Ghoul Re 10, and I know I'm holding 11, still waiting on that to come back to my library. If this doesn't make it back to my library, I have some alternate comics sitting on my husband's bookshelf that I may have to go borrow. And I'm not even gonna try to read a blurb for these. You need to read Tokyo Ghoul first, which has 14 volumes, and then you need to read all the previous ones in Tokyo Ghoul Re, and then you'll be caught up to read volumes 10 and 11. For an O, the spell is Spongify. Read a book that has paperback binding. For this, I'm going with Crooked Kingdom. That way I can, get caught up on the rest of the duology. Also, my library provided me with a paperback, so there we go. For Transfiguration, I am to read a book with LGBTQIA+ representation, and for this I've chosen an Audible original called You Do You, and I already talked about that in my last video, so there you go. That's what I'm reading for this one. For my E in Transfiguration, I shall be reading a book that's not first in the series. For this, I have chosen N.E.W.T.s by Robert Jordan, which is the 6th book in the Wheel of Time series, and I will be listening to it via Audible. In the blurb on Goodreads for this, it says, "On the slopes of Sheol, the Midrosh swords are forged, and the sky is not the sky of this world. In Saladar, the White Tower, in exile prepares an embassy to Camelin, where Randall Thor, the Dragon Reborn, holds the throne, and where an unexpected visitor may change the world. In Emond's Field, Perrin Goldeneyes, Lord of the Two Rivers, feels the pull of Ta'Viren to Ta'Viren and prepares to march. Morgaze of Camelin finds a most unexpected and quite unwelcome ally. And the south lies Ilion, where Samael holds away." It's a continuation of the series, and I'm really excited for it, because I've really been enjoying it. For my in Transfiguration, I am to read a book that is over 500 pages, and for this I went overkill with The Priory of the Orange Tree. A world divided, a queendom without an heir, an ancient enemy awakens. The House of Berthnet has ruled Innis for 1,000 years. Still unwed, Queen Sabran and the Ninth must conceive a daughter to protect her realm from destruction, but assassins are getting closer to her door. Yet Durian, an outsider at court, though she has risen to the position of lady-in-waiting, she is loyal to a hidden society of mages. Ead keeps a watchful eye on Sabran, secretly protecting her with forbidden magic. Across the sea, Tanae has trained all her life to be a dragon rider, but is forced to make a choice that could see her life unravel. Meanwhile, the divided East and West refuse to parley, and forces of chaos are rising from their sleep. I've heard mixed reviews on this book, and dragons, which I am excited for. And the most of the reviews that I saw that were kind of like meh on this one were because it's an epic fantasy and it has a lot of words, which I've read The Name of the Wind, and also for this challenge I've chosen The Wise Man's Fear. And I'm also into The Wheel of Time, so I feel like I am an avid fan of epic fantasies, so I expect good things for this. Let's hope that this meets my expectations. For an A in Ancient Runes, I am to read a book that is recommended by a friend, for which I chose The Lightning Thief, which is the first book in the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. 12-year-old Percy Jackson is on the most dangerous quest of his life. With the help of a satyr and daughter of Athena, Percy must journey across the United States to catch a thief who has stolen the original weapon of mass destruction, Zeus's Master Bolt. Along the way, he must face a host of mythological enemies determined to stop him. Most of all, he must come to terms with a father he has never known and an oracle that has warned him of a betrayal of a friend. Now, I have actually already read this book for this challenge this month, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's why the second book in this series is also part of this challenge for me, because so far I'm really liking it. Do I want to say it's a middle school read? I think it's middle school read appropriate. Well, maybe high school, depending on your attention span. I gave The Lightning Thief 5 stars just because it's something that I'm going to read over and over again, I feel like, as long as the rest of the series is really good. It's kind of like Harry Potter is for me. Is it the best work of fiction ever? Arguably, yes, but also it's a middle school read. And I feel like this is kind of along the same lines, but it has a lot of rereadability to it, and I'm actually really excited for it. For an E in Ancient Runes, I'm to read a book written in past tense, for which I've basically chosen Dolly's Book of Greek Myths. Some of it, pretty much all of it is written in past tense as like a bedtime story kind of vibe, because it's all about the old Greek gods and stuff. And it's a really fun read. I've already read this one. It's actually been a reread for me on this challenge because I had to read this as required text back in 7th grade. And I'll probably post a separate review for this because I've already filmed that, I just haven't edited it. Now for my A in Defense Against the Dark Arts, I've chosen The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, which is the second in the Name of the Wind series, also known as the King Killer Chronicle Day 2. There are three things all wise men fear: the sea and storm, a night with no moon, and the anger of a gentle man. My name is Kvothe. I have stolen princesses back from sleeping barrow kings. I burned down the town of Trebon. I have spent the night with Felurian and left with both my sanity and my life. I was expelled from the university at a younger age than most people are allowed in. I tread paths by moonlight that others fear to speak of during day. I have talked to gods, loved women, and written songs that make the minstrel weep. You may have heard of me. So begins the tale of a hero told from his own point of view, a story unequaled in fantasy literature. Now in the Wise Man's Fear, Day 2 of the Kingkiller Chronicle, an escalating rivalry with a powerful member of the nobility forces Kvothe to leave the university and seek his fortune abroad. Adrift, penniless, and alone, he travels to Ventus, where he quickly becomes entangled in the politics of courtly society. While attempting to curry a favor with a powerful noble, Kvothe uncovers an assassination attempt, comes into conflict with a rival arcanist, and leads a group of mercenaries into the wild in an attempt to solve the mystery of who, or what, is waylaying the travelers on the King's Road. All the while, Kvothe searches for answers, attempting to uncover the truth about the mysterious Emir, the Chandrian, and the death of his parents. Along the way, Kvothe is put on trial by the legendary N.E.W.T.s mercenaries, is forced to reclaim the honor of the N.E.W.T.s, and travels into the Fey realm. There he meets Felurian, the fairy woman no man can resist, and who no man has ever survived, until Kvothe. In the Wise Man's Fear, Kvothe takes his first steps on the path of the hero and learns how difficult life can be when a man becomes a legend in his own time. I am currently this far through the book. This is how much is left. And I've really enjoyed it so far. At some points I'm getting frustrated because, one, it usually doesn't take me this long to finish a book. I've also read 2 other books while reading this book, which is also unusual for me. But there you have it. This is next on my list to finish. So that's all I have for you for my rule-abiding version of the 2019 Magical Readathon. I hope you join me and many, many others on this fun journey, and let me know what you choose in the comments below, or if you plan to do this, or if maybe you'll join in next year. Okay, thanks, bye!